that ain't going anywhere. Nobody ever got out of a ticket because they said, hey, I saw this on YouTube and they said it's the right way. So before you take any advice from a YouTuber, I would advise you to consult with your state or local laws, or even just like ask a law enforcement officer how to do what we're about to show you. So today we're going to show you how to secure your tractor to a trailer using chains and chain binders. And just a quick overview of what we got here. We've got an 18-foot trailer, which I think is the perfect size for a compact tractor. It keeps the implement on the trailer. And also this trailer doesn't have a dovetail. And a lot of people like a dovetail because it's easier to get the tractor up on the trailer. But with the dovetail, you lose a lot of usable deck space. So 18 foot, dual axles. It's only got brakes on one axle and it's a 10,000 pound trailer. I had a 14,000 pound trailer or capacity trailer and it had brakes on both axles, and it was just overkill for this 3,500 pound tractor. Everything about that 14,000 pound trailer was heavy duty, especially the ramps. And as you get older, you appreciate things that are strong but light enough that you can handle. So on a 10,000 pound trailer, you get ramps that are more manageable. And like I said, no dovetail here, so your usable space of your trailer is all the way to the back. So generally when I have to take my tractor somewhere, I have an implement on the back, so there's more weight on the back. And by taking the bucket and putting it up against the front edge of the trailer, it keeps the tractor from going into the truck if you hit the brake suddenly. And that's if your chains or anything were to break. They should hold it onto the trailer. But what I like to do is put it all the way against here. And then with the implement on it, it kind of balances out the load. But what you want to do is have no more than 10% tongue weight. And you can see the way my truck is squatting here in the back. I probably have more than 10% tongue weight. So this, if I was going to do this perfectly, I would back the tractor up and get more of the weight on the dual axles. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you how to tie it down with the tractor fully forward. I'm going to be using a set of chain and chain binders that came from Vevor. So this is a ratchet style load binder. This is one of two boxes. It's a 3/8 to 1/2 inch model, so it'll use either a 3/8 chain or 1/2 inch chain. And the working load limit is 5 tons or 10,000 pounds. And then the chain length is 10 foot with a working load limit of 3.2 tons. So that's a little over 6,000 pounds. And there's 4 of them. So in each box, you're going to get 2 binders and 2 10-foot chains. And they're heavy because the little UPS girl that brought them to me, she was holding on to them and brought them up to me. And when I took them from her, it literally almost dropped me to the ground because there's quite a bit of weight here. But you get 2 sets of them, and 2 sets will allow you to tie down a tractor very safely. But I'd like to have your guys' comments and, your experience down below. What I've heard is 4 points of contact in an X pattern with the main piece of machinery. But I've also heard that the loader is considered separate, and that needs 4 points as well. And the implement is considered separate, and that needs 4 points of attachment or security as well. So I've just got the tractor on here to show you how to do an X pattern with the chain binders. But leave a comment down below if there is more that has to be done. So the first thing you should do with any chain binder is get it to its fully extended position. Otherwise, you're going to be doing a lot of cranking on every corner. So whenever I'm done with a chain binder, I just go ahead and put it to this position. The longer it is, the better. And that way, you're not tightening it and then find out that you don't have enough threads to get it as tight as you want to get it. And I also recommend you put a little grease on the threads right here at the base, and then as it screws in, it'll take that grease with it, and then they'll be greased for life after that. So these are pretty dry, coming brand new from the factory. Just put the grease here, and as the threads screw in, it'll take that grease into the barrel. I've got this one started, but we'll back up and show you how I got to this point. And once you've done it once, it'll come pretty naturally. So with a chain, you always want gravity to be your friend. So you want to come in here and loop around your stake pockets and put your hook down. Never chain like this, because if it comes loose, that'll just fall right off. So come inside here. like that, or you can do it the other way as well. You can come inside here like that. But either way, you want that hook so it can never fall off and hit someone behind you. Also, never hook to your 3-point hitch. I've got a utility wagon hitch or something here to tow things. And no hydraulics on any tractor are going to stay up forever. So it's just better not to hook to anything here because it will go down. I guess you could hook to it in its full down position, but it's better to hook to the frame of the tractor. So using the same theory that gravity is your friend, you want your hook to be facing down. And if you have a drawbar in your tractor and a big clevis hook or a pintle hook or something, you know, a big round hook right here, then that would be good, but I didn't have one, so I'm just going to hook directly to the frame of the tractor with the hook. And then I'll bring the other side hook in over here as well. And now the only way that's going to come off is if this chain breaks or the frame of the tractor breaks. And now here is where having this chain binder in its fully extended position comes in handy. Because you can't always get the chain tight, or maybe it's bound up on something, hung up a little bit. And you might use all the threads before you get it completely tight. But if you have it extended, you know, as far as possible, then you'll be able to take up several lengths of slack. So you want to get it in as tight as you can. And then the chain binder goes both ways with this little lever here. Now we're just going to tighten it up and bring that grease right into the barrel of the chain binder. And best practices on the hooks is always down like that, because if they're the other way, you know, gravity will be working against you. But here's the little latch here on the chain binder that lets it reverse direction. So you can loosen it by going that way, flick this little lever, then it tightens it. Sometimes you have to hold the ends until it gets a little tight. So I got my foot on one, my hand on the other, and I'm just drawing both of these towards the center, both of these screw ends towards the center. It actually wasn't tightening because you couldn't hear it ratcheting, but it's tightening now. I'm going to wipe this extra grease off so that doesn't end up all over us. Now we're well greased inside that barrel. That'll be in there for years to come. But that's fairly tight. We'll get them all started before we get the final tightening on them. If you're not familiar with Vevor, they offer much lower prices than, say, a place like Tractor Supply. So this whole set was like $225. And that's for all 4 binders, all 4 10-foot chains, and everything is up to 1/2 inch with that high, you know, 10,000 pound working load. And I think I bought one binder, just one ratchet binder from Tractor Supply years ago, and I think that cost me like $65 or $75 just for that. If you don't need to have something name brand, especially on something like this that's fairly simple, there's really nothing that's going to go wrong with it. It's chain and chain binders. I would look at Vevor. I'd recommend that you check them out. There'll be a code down below where you can get 5% off. But we've gotten several products from them that we really enjoy out here and help us at Piney Grove. We use Vevor for the gravel grids that are on the driveway behind you, and they lock in the gravel from any kind of rain runoff. And we also had a basket, a forklift basket that we use on the front of our tractor. It's like $150, but it keeps you real safe when you're going around your property taking limbs off of trees. And we just found that if you tried to buy that from anywhere else, it would probably cost you twice as much. So you can save a lot of money by buying from Vevor, and you can save a little bit more money by using our code down below. This is a prime example of one being stubborn, and maybe I didn't get the chain as tight initially as I could have. And the tighter you get it in the beginning, the less ratcheting you have to do. But luckily I have lots of threads, and running out of threads won't be a problem. It was probably the biggest mistake I made when I started using chain binders, was not extending them all the way and then running out of threads before I got whatever I was trying to lock in, before I got it tight. And what I'm realizing now is I'm pulling the tractor backwards because I don't have the front binders in. So that's tight enough for now till we get the front binders on. So this is the last one, and this is the front of the tractor. And what I found is that it's much easier to hook up the front end of the tractor if you have some sort of tie-down point. And I bought these aftermarket. Kubota doesn't come with them, and it just makes it so much easier to hook up the front of the tractor with a chain binder. Same thing as we did in the back. We'll pass that through there. Let gravity hold that chain in. And if you have a long enough chain, you can actually hook the chain binder right to that hook and this other end to this chain. And then if the chain is long enough, run it to the other side and do the same thing on the other side. But having 4 equal length chains is much better to keep track of your equipment. And that way you're not hunting for that long chain, or maybe you get a chain that's a little bit too short. So a couple of different ways you can do it. And like I said, I want your feedback on this. Am I doing anything wrong? Is there a way I could do it better? Is there a way I could do it quicker? I'm just showing you how I do it. And the way I used to do it was with those 4-inch like nylon ratchet straps, and they got a high working load limit. But the problem with nylon straps is that they'll cut when they go over an edge. Not a smooth edge like that, but like your bucket edge. Over time they'll just start to wear and cut. So we're almost done. One thing that you can do, and this isn't a problem because this chain isn't so long that it'll, you know, kind of fly off your trailer and kick up sparks or anything, but you can wrap your chain around your chain hoist handle here, and it'll just do less flailing around. It looks a little neater. And also, and we are not sponsored at all by Proven Industries, but I found this to be the biggest deterrent to trailer theft. This goes on your hitch, and I've got a video on how to use this, and I'll link that down below. But this goes over top of your trailer hitch, and with this puck lock right here, the locking mechanism is inside there, and you can see how hard it would be to defeat that lock. But I'll leave a link to everything we use in this video down below. But there's one more thing we have to do before we can say this tractor is properly secured. We'll do a quick walk around of the tractor secured on the trailer, and we'll let you in on a little secret. It's just an unwritten rule of securing your tractor on a trailer. Okay, you ready for the secret? What you do is you go up to your chain binder and you tap it a couple times and you say this: "That ain't going anywhere." That's going to wrap it up, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And like I said before, if you got comments about this, a better way of doing it, leave it down below, because as YouTubers, we put out the best information that we can to help people, but that doesn't make us the expert. So you may be the expert on it, so your comment down below may help someone else. But that's going to wrap it up. So until next time, y'all take care out there. And remember, life's short, tractor hard, and check out these 2 videos right here. They're totally awesome.